Hello and welcome to BBC World News. The first two vaccines against the novel coronavirus could be administered to Americans before Christmas. That's according to the US Health Secretary Alex Azar. It comes as Moderna has filed for both US and EU regulatory approval of its coronavirus vaccine so that it can be recommended for widespread use. Regulators will look at trial data for the mRNA vaccine and decide if it is safe and effective enough for emergency use authorization. Clinical studies suggest the jab is more than 94% effective at protecting people from becoming ill with COVID-19. Pfizer, whose vaccine works in a similar way, has already filed for approval from the US Food and Drug Administration. Well, let's go straight to the BBC's online health reporter, Michelle Roberts. Michelle, good to see you. So this is another bit of good news about the vaccine.
It is. So we're hearing about these various vaccines that are edging closer to this end goal of actually becoming available to more people. So at the moment, they're still just in trials. This Moderna one, we've got latest data from those trials from 30,000 people, and it appears to be very effective, 94%. Those trials also included elderly people, the types of people that you really need to think about protecting. So this seems to be good news, but obviously now regulators need to look at that data and check that they're happy that it's safe and effective enough to give it the go-ahead.
Alex Azar's talked about rolling it out in the United States by Christmas or before Christmas. There is a big question about distribution and transportation because there are so many countries in the world with huge amounts of vulnerable people that need to get access to these kinds of vaccines.
I mean, certainly the World Health Organization is concerned that possibly richer nations will be at the front of the queue, leaving developing world and poorer nations to play catch up with this. A lot of the stocks that are available at the moment have been bought up by the US, the UK, various European countries, but some are committed to a COVAX, this global group to get vaccines out to the developing world. So that should hopefully help. Obviously, developing actual physical stocks of the vaccine takes time. There are lots of doses that are ready to go in the glass vials at the moment, but production will need to ramp up to get to the billions that we need for the world.
Indeed, very much so. And I suppose there is also this thing around complacency where people think, every week we're hearing that more companies are coming up with these vaccines.
It's important not to relax too much at the moment. Obviously, we've had Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas coming up where people might be socialising more, mixing more. The virus hasn't gone away and we don't have these vaccines to actually give to the masses yet. So the message really from the health experts is just hold your horses, be careful, keep doing all the social distancing, but hopefully soon we will have lots of stock to start giving to people.
It's quite extraordinary, Michelle, when you think about this, because actually the pace in which these companies are going and scientists are going to develop these vaccines, when actually some of these things can take decades.
I mean, it's breakneck speed. We've never seen anything like this before, and the technologies that they're using is really exciting as well. So the Moderna and Pfizer jabs use mRNA. It's a brand new type of technology. And if that does work, it would mean that you could look at using the same type of technology for other diseases that we've not been able to crack in the past. So it is a very exciting time.
Very much so. Michelle, thanks so much for bringing us up to speed.